If you stumbled upon this video on your feed, then your gifts are going to be turned into a six-figure business. And yes, you can do it. It might sound absolutely crazy and that you feel like you're not expert enough, you don't have enough to share with the world. Why would anybody listen to you when there's so many great creators out there? But I don't believe in coincidences. My videos only reach a certain group of people, and it is light workers who are ready to share their gifts with the world and have soul contracts with a big audience that they're here to help in some way. And here's the truth. We've been programmed to think that if something is easy for us, then it's not valuable. And this is what I call the hustle myth. Because in this 3D world, we've been taught that money comes from hustling, from grinding. And when you're working from your soul, it feels playful, right? The soul is happy. And the ego thinks that is not work, that's play. So you sabotage the gift, you don't use it, and you stay in your draining 9-to-5 job. And what makes it even harder is that society praises you for being a good, hardworking person, a good employee of the month, where you follow the boss, you do what you're told. But if you want to make six figures, not having a boss, doing your own thing, sharing your gifts with the world, then you need to kill that version of you who are seeking validation. When I first quit my job, my dad called me and said, "Are you sure you want to quit your job? You have this nice, stable job. You know, my generation would never do something like that." So yeah, people around me were doubting me. This was before COVID as well. So it was like unheard of to work from home, have your own business. And especially when you haven't started making money yet, or very low money, then it's really tough to hear critique because your inner critic is so strong as well. The third reason why it might be a struggle and there might be resistance to hearing that your gifts will be turned into a six-figure business is because your ego loves pursuit. It loves the idea of searching for your purpose, but never actually being responsible for it and actually doing it. So how do you actually turn your gifts into a six-figure business like I did? First of all, you gotta get clear on like, what is your passion? What is your purpose? That gift that you can turn into a business. And it is actually more simple than you think. Think about what topics actually light you up, that you can talk about for hours, you can read about for hours. And I also have a free guide called How to Find Your Purpose in my description if you want to get more into the nitty-gritty, the psychology, the astrology, and get clear on your purpose that way. So that's step one, to identify your gifts that you want to turn into a business. Step two is to identify your audience. Who are you targeting? And usually this is the younger version of you before you overcame that struggle. For example, let's say you were really bad at cooking. So you took a cooking course or you started cooking at home and you became really good at it. So then you would be targeting people who are not good at cooking. And you can also look at, okay, where do they live? What is their gender? Are they like a mom, like a profession? So for example, I help spiritual people who feel drained by their 9-to-5 to share their gifts online, find their purpose, create a soft, peaceful life. And bonus point, identify what their biggest pain point is, because that is what your product will be about to solve that problem for them. So in my audience's case, their biggest problem is unfulfillment. They feel unfulfilled in their job, in their life. Next step is to figure out, how are you going to reach this audience? Back in the days, it was really easy to use paid ads. But nowadays, that's becoming really unprofitable, really difficult, very expensive now with paid ads. So my recommendation is posting for free on places like YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. And this way you're actually getting paid by the platform rather than you having to pay the platform. Once you're monetized, you get really good AdSense revenue and the content has long lifespan. So when you post a video, it can be found for years later. I'm still earning money from many of my videos that I posted like 5-6 years ago. While with Instagram and TikTok and those short form platforms, I've seen that usually the shelf life of a post is around 2 days. Next up, you want to make sure you're posting consistently. Stick to a schedule you can actually stick to in the long run, right? So if you're a busy mom who also works in a corporate job, it's gonna be probably once a week. You probably won't be able to post twice a week, and that's fine. Just make sure it's consistent. And if you have no idea how to post to make views and you want to be handheld, then I would love to coach you in my Nomad Freedom Academy. You can book a free business clarity call, link in the description to find out more and see if we would be a good fit. Next step, you want to create one product. Yes, one. You only need one product. And what most people do is that they create too many. I did this in the beginning. I had ebooks, courses, I wanted to create a mastermind, I wanted to create a membership. I was all over the place, which led to not much money because I was spreading myself too thin, taking lots of action, but in lots of different directions. It wasn't until I just removed everything except one product, Nomad Freedom Academy, that it became a 6-figure business. Because then you can put all your energy into this one product. So think about, again, that pain point that we talked about before. In my audience's case, unfulfillment. Okay, what is a product that I can create for them to feel fulfilled again? Or let's say you're a fitness coach and you're focusing on people who are overweight or obese, and the problem is weight gain. Then you could create a program about how to create weight loss. Lightworker, you have too much wisdom not to share it with the world. This is your sign to start, or if you have started, to lean in even further. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want to learn the exact business model that I recommend for lightworkers, then check out my next video, Best Business Models for Spiritual People. Love you and see you in the next one.